Happy fall, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Coffee and Cryptos. My name is Dom, and today I'm going to be making my favorite drink ever to kick off pumpkin spice season, the Pumpkin Spice Latte. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a very simple pumpkin spice latte from home. All I'm going to be using today is, of course, the pumpkin pie syrup. I'm using the Tirani Pure Made sauce. I just ordered it from Amazon. I think this bottle was around $12. They also have a really big bottle that's $30, but I thought I'd try the small bottle first before buying the big bottle. And then, of course, I have my pumpkin pie spice, the McCormick brand that I just got from HEB. And then today I'm going to be using oat milk, but of course you can use any milk you like. I just always choose the dairy-free options. And then for espresso, I'm using the Starbucks, the blonde roast Nespresso pods, and I'm going to use 2 shots because I always need at least 2 shots, sometimes even 3 shots in my pumpkin spice, but today I'll just be using 2 of the blonde roast espresso shots. So let's get started. Okay, so today I'll be making both hot and iced pumpkin spice lattes. So I'm going to start with the hot first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this cup and my Tirani syrup, and I'm going to measure out 2 of these tablespoons and put it in the cup first. And I like to put the syrup in the cup first so that way the coffee can kind of melt down in the syrup before I mix it together with the milk. I might put in just a teeny bit more. I use 2.5 tablespoons. And then once that's all in the cup, I'm going to put my cup on my Nespresso here, and then add in my first Nespresso pod. These are just single shots, so I'm going to use 2 of them. Now that it's locked, I'm going to go ahead and start it. And then while that's pouring, I'm going to pour my milk into my milk frother. Just going to give it a shake. And I'm going to froth hot milk. And then I'll come back when that's done pouring, and then I'll get the second shot ready. Okay, now I'm going to get the second shot. The first shot is done. I'm going to put it in there and close it. And then I'm going to let that shot pour, and then once that shot's done, I'm going to come back and pour the milk on top of the espresso shots. Okay, so the second shot finished pouring. So I'm going to take my glass here, and I have my milk frother. And I'm just going to stir it up to make sure the espresso and the syrup is mixed good before I pour the milk in. So I'm doing that here. That smells really, really good with the pumpkin pie syrup. I'll just do that to make sure it's dried off. I'm going to put it back here. And then now I'm going to take my hot oat milk and pour it over the espresso. That looks really, really nice. I love the frothy oat milk on top. And then I'm going to take my milk frother again to give it a good mix. There we go. And then I'm going to add a little bit of whipped cream on top. I'm just using the Favorite Day original whipped dairy topping from Target. I know they also have a pumpkin spice syrup, but I wasn't able to find it at my local Target, so maybe the next time I go they'll have it. And then I'm just going to top this with some whipped cream, because what's a fall drink without some whip? That looks really, really nice. And then to top it all off, I'm going to put a little bit of pumpkin pie spice. Now this one always comes out very heavy, so I'm going to try my best to make it nice and light. There you go. That looks really, really good. I'm super, super excited to try this. So here you have a hot pumpkin spice latte. Okay, so that was the hot version, and now I'm gonna make the iced version of the pumpkin spice latte, which is made exactly the same, except for ice. I'm gonna make it exactly how they do at Starbucks. And I'm gonna use 3 shots of espresso, like I would make a venti at Starbucks, versus the 2 shots that would be in a hot pumpkin spice latte for a venti. So I'm gonna use 3 of the shots of espresso, and I'm gonna use the oat milk, the pumpkin pie spice. It's just gonna be cold and over ice. I'm also gonna add the whipped cream and the pumpkin pie spice on top. So I'm gonna put my glass here in front of the espresso. I'm gonna open it, and then I'm gonna start my first. I'm gonna start my first shot. I'm gonna pretend that didn't happen. Here we go. Okay, and then while that shot's going, I'm gonna shake up my oat milk here. And then I'm gonna pour it into my milk frother. And it's gonna be the same process, except this time I'm gonna froth for cold milk instead of for hot milk. For cold, it just turns blue. For hot, it turns red. So I'm gonna let this froth, and I'm gonna finish pouring the 3 shots, and I'll come back when it's time to pour my milk and my espresso into my glass. Okay, so before I pour the 3rd shot, I'm gonna mix my pumpkin pie spice in the espresso, because I completely forgot before I started to pour, but no worries, it'll still melt over when I do the 3rd one. So here's 1 tablespoon. Here's 2 tablespoons. And then I'm going to use a half of a tablespoon. Here we go. Then I'm going to put this over here. And I'm going to use 1 more shot of my espresso. And I'm going to let that pour, and then I'll mix it together with my frother. And then I'll get my ice in my cup ready, and I'll pour the espresso and the milk over it, and then I'll add the whipped cream and the pumpkin pie spice. Okay, so now I have my ice cubes in my glass, and my espresso's done pouring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my milk frother, just like I did for the hot pumpkin spice, and I'm going to mix the syrup with the espresso. The only difference is this time I use 3 shots instead of 2, because ice drinks are always a little bit stronger. Good, that should be mixed pretty good. And then what I'll do is I'm gonna pour the hot espresso over the ice. That smells really, really good. And then I'm gonna pour the cold oat milk on top. Just like that. That looks really, really good. And then let me grab a spoon to stir it. Give it a quick stir before I add on the whipped cream on top. That's a really nice color, a nice light brown. And then I'm gonna add on the whipped cream on top, because what's a fall drink without some whipped cream? And then I'm gonna top with the pumpkin pie spice. I'm a little heavy-handed on the pumpkin pie spice, but it tastes really, really good, so it doesn't matter. And there you have an iced pumpkin spice latte with oat milk. Thanks for tuning in to another video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram. I'll see y'all next time.